has been speaking about the security situation in the Sinai Peninsula and the efforts of the interim government to restore democracy to Egypt. Latif was at State House Wednesday as a special envoy of the interim government in Egypt. Shortly after meeting President Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya Jammeh, Ambassador Latif said talks between him and Professor Jammeh centered mainly on the importance of restoring Egypt's lost glory.
My mission is to explain to His Excellency the situation, the recent developments in our country, and also to benefit from the wisdom of the President of the Republic of Gambia with his experience, rich experience. And he listened to me very carefully, and he expressed the support of the Republic of the Gambia to the aspirations of the Egyptian people and for the roadmap that has been elaborated by the Egyptian authorities for the next few months, and with all of the support they can give the Republic of the Gambia to Egypt.
Concerning the roadmap, we understand that interim President Adli Mansour recommend that a new referendum be voted into for the new constitution.
Yes, I mean the roadmap is very clear, with the timetable very identified and very. At first, I mean, we had a civilian government with open to everybody to join. I mean, those who have joined and those who did not want to join, but at least we have a prime minister and ministers of qualified people, experts in their field. Number two was the establishment of an expert committee, a committee for legal experts, and to look and to consider the amendments of the constitution. Then in 15 days they will present their report to another committee which is more broader and wider, 50 persons from different political parties and different religious communities, women, young people. This will take 3 months in order to write a constitution which is really democratic and which is really reflect the hopes and the aspiration of the Egyptian people. Then it will be submitted to a referendum. And after the referendum, if accepted, then we go to legislative elections, then to presidential elections. All this will be in a timetable of 8 to 9 months. So this is very clear. The roadmap is very clear in that sense.
What can you tell us about the security situation currently?
Security situation, we have two problems here. One is the increasing and the escalation of terrorist acts and crimes in the Sinai Peninsula, which in the last 10 days has increased a lot, and the armed forces are taking all the measures in order to counter this terrorist attacks that has, I mean, surprisingly been very active in the last 15 days since the events and the changes that have occurred. The security situation in the rest of the country is now relatively better than it was a few weeks ago. But it needs a lot of attention, it needs a lot of efforts, because we need security, we need the political stability in order to have an economic recovery and to have tourism back again in Egypt, investments and so on.
Ambassador Latif, an envoy of the interim government in Egypt, after a meeting with the Gambian leader. The outgoing UNICEF country representative Aissatou Jawara Flambat and Cuba's ambassador to the Gambia, Ines Flores Fernandez, this afternoon bade the Vice President and Women's Affairs Minister, Ajah Dr. Aissatou Njie Seydi, farewell, after concluding their respective tours of duty in the Gambia. Mamadou Diallo reports.
Aissatou Jawara Flambat, the UNICEF country representative, has been in the Gambia for 2 years, and now her term has expired. This afternoon, she met the Vice President and Minister of Women's Affairs, Her Excellency Ajah Dr. Aissatou Njie Seydi, at State House. To bid farewell to a country she acknowledged has achieved tremendous gains in reducing infant mortality and meeting the Millennium Development Goals.
We have been able to achieve during these 2 years. Thanks to the very strong partnership and the good collaboration we have with the government and other partners, we have been able to achieve a lot of results in the area of child rights, mainly health, nutrition, access to quality basic education and protection.
Madam Jawara Flambert has now been reassigned to UN headquarters in New York, but for the Malian-born diplomat, her focus has been and will remain promoting the welfare of children.
I've been privileged for working, and I say when at UNICEF we work for the children. And these are the memories when I went to the regions to visit the schools, to visit the health centers, and I was able to meet with the children. These are the memories that I'm taking to New York with me.
Another diplomat who has also ended her tour of duty is Ines Flores Fernandez, Cuba's ambassador to the Gambia. However, Mrs. Fernandez is heading home, where she will take up her new assignment at Cuba's foreign ministry after serving 4 years in the Gambia. After a brief tete-a-tete with the Vice President, Her Excellency Dr. Aissatou Seydi, Mrs. Fernandez said she was happy to leave Gambia-Cuba relations at an all-time high.
We have historical relationship with the Gambia. Gambia is in the heart of Cubans, and we won't forget the unforgettable memories we have in this beautiful country, the smiling coast of Africa. So we have cooperation in many areas, mainly in the health sectors, but we also have cooperation in sports, agriculture, in many, many areas. So Gambia is very, very important for us, and we are also very, very important for Gambia and the Gambians.
The outgoing Cuban diplomat is the first woman to represent her country since diplomatic relations were established, and believes her replacement will work hard to consolidate the already warm relations between Banjul and Havana, two countries that share a lot in common. Mamadou Diallo, Grts.
State prosecutors have struck out the indictment of former Attorney General and Minister of Justice at a lower court for alleged offences, which include economic crimes. But it seems the legal woes of Lamin AMS Jabate are far from over, for the former Justice Minister today had fresh criminal charges which include economic crimes, preferred against him by state prosecutors. The ex-minister is facing additional charges alongside his former Solicitor General, Pahari Jame. Ibrahim Jata has this look at today's proceedings at the High Court and new developments in the trial of the 4 former officials of the National Drug Enforcement Agency.
Charges against the erstwhile Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Prosecutors have struck out previous indictments of economic crimes preferred on the accused at the Magistrate Court in Banjul. The former Justice Minister, Lamin Jabate, faces 11 new counts ranging from abuse of office, wrongfully retaking possession of land from a person who obtained possession by writ of court, forcible entry, opening businesses without license, false information, and economic crimes. Charges the former Attorney General strongly denies. The particulars in one of the counts on economic crime specifies that the former Attorney General willfully and recklessly caused monetary loss to the Gambia Revenue Authority, a public body, by constituting a tax force which reassessed and reviewed downwards the tax liabilities of several tax defaulters found by the Commission. Defense lawyers representing the accused were soon on their feet, reminding the court of a pending bail application filed since July 23rd. Lawyer Lamin Camara had more to say, arguing that prosecutors also failed to serve him on time, as instructed by the special court. But Principal State Counsel Maurice Ajia opposed the application, saying that this particular motion has been overtaken by events since the lower court charges were struck off. Ajia argued that filing a new motion for the first matter is the proper procedure in this case. Yet the court could not ignore the fact that the new counts evolved from the previous matter at the lower court. Special Court Judge Justice Emmanuel Nkea asked the defense to make a fresh bail application, and it was quickly delivered. Lawyer Lamin Camara applied for bail, citing several sections of the Constitution and a plethora of legal authorities before the special court, which he begged to use its discretion to dispense bail. Principal State Counsel Ajia responded in kind, saying that discretion cannot be wrongly exercised as a matter of force. Opposing the motion, the State Counsel said the court needs to be satisfied that certain requirements can be met in order to hand out bail, and so both sides went on, arguing strongly on several sections of the Constitution. After a brief recess, Justice Emmanuel Nkea emerged for his ruling, relating how counsel's oral application was moved on the basis of law and not facts. Using local authorities in his ruling, Nkea sought guidance from decisions